I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how this whole Middle East is kind of a joke because it's just really Eastern Africa. But
that's what I
leave
that's
to
what
the
I
comment
say.
below how you feel about the breakup between Africa and the Middle East and Africa, and what do you guys think? We're interested in knowing. So yeah, that's really interesting.
Yes, and just if I could add on to that whole Africa, Middle East, because I'll see a lot of discussion when I'm in the West about, those Arabs. And I don't think a lot of people in the West realize that a lot of the Arabs look just like us.
Rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
And most of the time when I'm in the Middle East, they can't tell if I'm Saudi or Kuwaiti or Nigerian or Sudanese.
Melanin, as long as the melanin's popping, you could be here from anywhere.
That question is always there. So,
exactly.
In fact, the last place they think I'm from is America. Right.
That's hilarious. So I also want to talk about, because hot topic, race relations, how do you feel like you said, you think you could be from anywhere around the world. Now, you luckily have a privilege because you are from America, and so people automatically assume that you're up higher. So how is the race relations between people in Saudi Arabia? Are there different races there? Is it just Arabs, or how does that go, kind of?
It's interesting. What I've noticed. This is just my experience. One
person. Disclaimer.
Right. So, and I'm going to generalize here. But what I've noticed is that more so in Saudi, it's a class issue. Okay. Because I do see the discrimination that takes place are the maids and the cleaners, but they can be from the Philippines, Indonesia, an African country, India. Okay, so it doesn't feel as much as race. Okay. But I know that once it's communicated around the world, people focus on whatever is interesting to them. So if you're Black, you might say that, oh my God, I heard about how they're treating the Africans. Right. The Filipinos will go, oh my God, I hear how they're treating the Filipinos, etc. Right. And that does happen. It can happen, but it's usually like a real big class thing. Okay. Not that it makes it right. Right. But day to day living, at least my experience in the Eastern Province of Al-Hassa, no issue with race.
That's a beautiful thing.
No issue with race. Yeah. Yep. So, alhamdulillah for that. Alhamdulillah for that.
So we always talk about how in Saudi Arabian culture and society, it's hidden. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear a lot, we don't see a lot, but it's so rich. So I would love to talk a bit about why, how that goes in society being kind of hidden, male and female relationships being separated, and then talk about how did the Saudi Arabians get this wealth? Where is this money coming from? Why is it so luxe? Why is everybody seemingly affluent? So yeah.
Okay. Well, they have the oil money. Prior to that, these were just people living in the desert. Just Arabs, nomads. And I want to say, and excuse me, 50 years ago. I mean, this happened so
new.
fast.
Okay. Wow.
We had the oil money. The money was distributed. The good news is, yes, there's the wealthy. There's the Saud family that has a lot of wealth. But the thing also is that it did trickle down. Okay. It did take care of their population and their people. And at least everyone gets to enjoy a basic humane standard of living. So there's the super wealthy,
that about
wealthy
country I know right
exactly.
now.
At least there's a basic, some people, it's I guess it's kind of relative too, because we do hear of cases of people being poor, and sometimes we do collections and we try to help these families, but most of the time the situation with that would be a woman who is married, now divorced, left with 6 kids, she's having a hardship, we might get together, but as a community and support her, so
well, there it is. They're rich because they got the oil.
Yes,
I need some oil.
Now, because of the oil prices that has, the oil prices dropped, Saudi's interested in diversifying their country. There's a whole lot of new stuff happening.
Okay, like tourism. I know tourism is getting big.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always nice. Hopefully I can go soon because we've been trying to get me to Saudi Arabia. I'm coming to Saudi Arabia soon. Check me in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so we're gonna talk about society in general and just the closed in separation because everybody's interested in that, hearing about that.
Okay, so in Islam, it in the Quran, it doesn't say that men have to stay here and women have to stay there.
Can you say that one more time for the people?
Right. In Islam, in the Quran, it's not written that men have to stay upstairs and women stay downstairs, or men are out in the back and women. But the mingling should be monitored. It shouldn't be
right. Because we're keeping it modest. The religion is about modesty. It's about keeping God centered, and we're all human, and we know what men and women get together what we want to do. So that's just the bottom line.
The closed society, yes. Saudi is an interest. It's a big close, even though now it's starting to open. More and more. But generally, it's closed. Most of the Muslims around the world, we enjoy Saudi because for us, it's unique. It's the only country like it. It was the only country that doesn't have alcohol. Is it one of the only Muslim countries with no alcohol? Yeah. Come on, that is forbidden. All that the men and women are separated, that you have more of an opportunity to kind of practice your religion. It's more in your mind, So
it's a holy land.
It's a holy land. You have Mecca, you have Medina. So it was a country that was really trying to practice the religion. Let's keep it this religious, special place. Some people are really excited about the change. Saudis, Muslims, that it is opening up. The abaya is no longer mandatory.
And for all those who don't know, can you explain what the abaya is?
Abaya is, you see the Muslim. I was going to wear one, but it's like the black overcoat that you see, Muslim women wearing over their clothes to cover their body or whatever,
And while we're on the topic, can you go ahead and explain? This is your hijab that you have on.
It's my hijab.
So hijab. Some people wear the niqab, which is when you just see their eyes. I love it, so but and no one's forcing them.
No one's
to wear
forcing
these,
them. And yes, it's okay. In Saudi's case, I'll just say
talk about Saudi for
so
now.
much to talk about.
So much to talk about. That's why you gotta come back.
But in Saudi's case, the women who wear the niqab in general, of course, there's some other things happening, and maybe some families that are forcing the girls. But this is just my experience with the girls that I interact with, because I teach on a college level. So I'm teaching girls my daughter's age. Okay, so this is what I'm experiencing, and I have really good best friends in Saudi who are Saudi. So in their case, they wear niqab. It's a high sense of modesty. They feel like they're really protecting their beauty. In fact, the saying is always the idea that they're a pearl and they're special and unique, and they don't want everyone to see their beauty. So it's kind of like the reverse in the West, whereas the West,
we want to show it, we want to show it,
but they want to keep it for their husbands and for special people in their life, because under that abaya, it's going down.
It's going down. And it's interesting because it just plays off of everything in the society. Like, even like you were telling me about the malls, from the outside it's just like, what's this place, and then you go inside, it's all luxe and
it's so
plush. They love that. They love the lush and plush.
Oh my god.
So
I love it. It's nice.
It's very decadent.
Everything feels like 5-star. And really it's nice. True. Even the homes from the outside, they you can see how big they are. They're huge, but it's not modest. They look modest, but when you go inside,
exquisite,
gorgeous,
exquisite.
Just, and that is the theme of Saudi. Versus, let's take a place of Dubai, where everything's in your face. So it's a bit different.
But they've been influenced a lot by the West. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. So I know that when we were talking, sometimes it's just hard to think about a concept of like segregation has such a negative connotation,
yes.
but this the segregation between men and women, and so I think that it'd be interesting to talk about like just a day out, going to the restaurant, going to the mall, and how is that,
It's so normal. Like a day out would be, for example, when I go to work, I work with all women.
Because it's an all-girls school.
It's an all-girls school, so the schools are not mixed up.
Okay.
And even universities that have men who work there, they're not in the classroom. They're coming through on a video.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, so that this man doesn't have a chance to make a relationship with this woman.
That is interesting. Yeah. So how early does school start? Like in elementary school, women teachers teach teach young girls.
Yes.
So from the beginning.
Yes.
Interesting.
So a day for me would be when I go to work, I'm with all my sisters. And it's fun because you get to take off the hijab. You can wear whatever you want because it's all women. We only wear this around men.
Okay.
Men who are not our relatives.
Right.
Who are not our husbands or sons or, like this. Yeah. So, okay. After, if we're going to go to the cafe, which is very normal to have. We love cafe.
The culture.
Yeah. So we go into the mall. The mall is mixed. The only thing is, a single man cannot go to the mall by himself.
Really?
Because it looks like he's coming there to look for women.
Can't even get your new shoes.
Right. He has to come with a woman or his family.
So can it be a group of single men? Can a
my God,
come together?
No.
Okay.
They all come and look for.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Yeah, but they get in.
That's intense.
They get in.
I'm sorry.
They get in. They just ask the woman, "Come on, can I walk in with you?" I've had that.
Okay, like
it's
that.
It's still human.
Okay.
People
always go home if you by yourself.
Always remember at the end of the day.
Right, exactly. These are just the rules of society,
These are the rules. So we go to the mall, but inside the at the mall, let's say we go to a cafe. That cafe would be divided.
Okay.
So the men would have their section, we would have our section.
Okay.
And once again, it's a freedom for us because we get to whip off the hijab, take off the abaya, and relax. Now with the modern Saudi, more cafes and more restaurants are being mixed.
Okay.
And also I should mention that, so for example, TGI Friday, right? It looks exactly the same as the Fridays here, minus the alcohol. And also most restaurants, if you want, there's a covering.
Okay.
So you can ask for it. If you want the divider, if you want them to cover you up so that you can relax, or you can keep it open so that you can see people.
So booths are kind of there, and then there's like a thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So you always have that option no matter where you are.
And they do have the same, it's still Westerns in the way of the chain. So there's still like McDonald's, still TGI Fridays, still Starbucks, all those things.
All of it, Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme,
wow.
All of it's halal.
Okay. Halal meaning that,
no
can you
pork.
explain? No pork,
and the way that, if it does have an animal, the way that the animal is killed, before it was killed, you prayed. They prayed for the animal.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, it has everything, and it also has the obesity.
Really?
Problem. 70%. Yes. So, in fact, I always say this to you, teacher. I find that Saudi Arabia is in America is this interesting dichotomy. On here you have the United States, which promotes this freedom, and you can do what you want, and once you're 18, you can live your life. Everything is free. It's me. It's my choice. It's
right.
And then on the other hand, you have Saudi that is following this kind of religious doctrine, and it's a little bit more, some would say, restricted. Okay. However, in my opinion, they meet. The societies, the cultures, the ideologies meet, and how.
How? Like, what do you mean by that?
They both live this kind of overabundance. We have this reliance on materialism, this kind of inflated superiority viewpoint. So, for example, Saudi is looking to be the superpower of the Middle East. The United States is the superpower of the West. So they share this kind of
and I feel like even though they probably don't know, and then we don't know as how censored we are with everything else going on. Like just the fact that you really don't know. You know only what they feed you and what they want you to know, which feeds into that whole doctrine of we're the best, we're the only, we're the better, that whole notion, and they have it, and and everybody denies it. Like if you talk to them, they probably think that they the most worldly of the world. We travel, we do, and we think the same thing, that we know, but
so I see they have so much in common. That was a great point, and that's a point I wanted to make. I'm so happy you said that. Absolutely. Both experiences kind of block out from the rest of the world. The United States does, and Saudi does unknowingly. So it gives them this inflated sense of,
that it's the only, the best, just we're doing it, and then
so that part is interesting.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I really want to go because I feel like it's so much to learn, because it's so much we don't know. It's just like you never know what could really be going on, and all the myths that we've been told. So I'm really, really glad that you're able to come and just talk a lot about it, because it's important that, because we don't want to be told. I love my Nigerian sister said we don't want to be told one story about any society. We want to have a holistic picture of things that's going on, because at the end of the day, once you get the holistic picture, you can humanize with people, and you can understand how we all want the same things. We're all wanting love and to feel wanted and to be with our families and to be able to buy the things we want and all the things so all of that's still the same in Saudi Arabia as it is here, and traveling and going to these places is the best way to see that and learn about yourself. So which brings us right into what you wanted to talk about, what you've been learning.
And I appreciate that, because I love what you just said, because I think a lot of times, especially in Saudi and in other places, there's this one narrative about women. And for me, I have this other narrative, at least for me, this other narrative exists, and this empowerment of being a woman. It's owning your femininity.
Exactly.
It's okay to be a woman. It's okay to have.
You could be sensitive, and
you could be sensitive. I don't have to. Again, I don't have to feel like everything my husband does, I have to do.
Right.
It's okay that he has a role, and that he's treating me like a queen. It's okay to feel like.
As he should, it's amazing.
It's okay to feel like that.
That's true, because I do feel like here, it's, and I'm not even gonna say especially my generation, because I feel like you probably felt the same thing. It's just such this, you think you so cute, you don't feel like you have to do and it's like, no, I'm actually a woman, and I just don't feel like that should be a part of my job. We can have different roles. It's okay. I feel like we try to, everybody can do everything. We all can't do everything. That's why God made it the way it is.
That's why God made it.
So
the sun and the moon.
The sun and the moon, the yin and the yang, the male and the female.
So
it's just, it's natural. We all have our roles, and if we can appreciate each other in our roles and empower each other in those roles, I think it'll just be a much better world.
Yeah. So we can drive. Now in Saudi Arabia, it happened last June. Woo-hoo. Great, great, great. I think part of the problem was that women just didn't like having being said you cannot drive.
Right.
Now, has it changed our life, or it's changed some lives? Women can drive, but
so what are the pretense to women driving now? Because before you couldn't drive at all. Was that you couldn't drive at all?
Couldn't drive at all.
So now, do you have to have permission from your husband or boyfriend? You could just drive now. So so it was just completely reverse.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. You could buy your own car by yourself.
Buy your own car.
Okay.
Yes, but a lot of women still opt not to drive. I drive occasionally because it's so nice to have a driver.
That's true. And you told me before that the men drive absolutely insane.
And the men drive absolutely
insane. It can be very dangerous.
Yes. Yeah. In short, my darling daughter, I get asked a lot of questions when I'm here in the States, for example, like, can you go out? Because people have this idea that I'm locked up in the house and I have to ask my husband if I can breathe or walk to the store. And really, that's not the case. We go out with my friends. Saudi, we go shopping.
She's married to a lovely Egyptian man, by the way.
Yes, my lovely, my nice husband. Yeah, we have parties, we dance, we get dressed up, we get our hair done, go get makeup. Normal stuff.
Just all girls. So,
all girls, and with some limitations in that. But it's not a limitation for us that there's no alcohol, but we don't want to drink alcohol.
Right. So it's just a different way of living, and it's a different mindset.
Because I saw like a little cartoon once, and it was two women, and one was covered up, and the other one she was dressed, showing her body.
I see that same.
You've seen the one about when men control either one of those decisions. That's the oppression.
That's the oppression.
When we make our own decision, if I make a decision to dress like this, and that's my freedom, alhamdulillah.
Exactly. And if I make a decision to dress like this,
and that's
my
how
freedom.
You define your freedom. But the problem comes when a man gets to say, oh no, you don't dress like this or you can't dress like this.
Right, exactly. And on that note, I think that this was a beautiful video.
I enjoyed
it.
Yes,
Thank you so much. And, you know, again, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Check out all my social media platforms. Follow me on Instagram at aniago.chinyere. And you can follow my mom on Instagram too. What's your Instagram handle?
Oh, what's my Instagram?
She don't even know her Instagram. But I'll be sure to tag it below. Yes. And thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Okay, bye.